This is the Yankees Postcast, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, the Yankees continue to do everything in their power to lose baseball games. Today, no exception. They fall to the Mets in Game 1 of the Subway Series 6-5, and because of it, that's 5 straight losses for the Yanks. They actually hit 4 home runs today, 2 for Jasson Dominguez, and it still wasn't enough. Why? The bullpen. Dreadful today, and because of it, the Yanks are now mired in a losing streak. As we said, 5 straight losses. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. If not, welcome aboard. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Again, glad to have you aboard. Please follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees Postcast, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The Postcast gives you a place to chat after every game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your very first purchase. And away we go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, as we said, 6-5, a Met win, a come-from-behind Met win on several occasions. The Yanks jumped out with 2 solo home runs after 2 batters. Jasson Dominguez and Aaron Judge go back-to-back to lead off the game. That hasn't happened to the Mets in 5 years. Well, the Yankees did it, and they were comfortably ahead 2-0. Bottom of the first inning, Juan Soto gets things square. A 2-run shot also to the opposite field for Soto. That made it 2-2. Now, once again, the Yankees would jump in front. At one point, it would be 5-3. However, the Mets scored 1 in the bottom of the 6th, 2 in the bottom of the 7th. That includes Jeff McNeil's go-ahead 2-run shot to the upper tank in right field, coming off of Luke Weaver. And again, 6-5, the final score. Reed Garrett gets the final 6 outs. He is obviously a struggling reliever for the Mets. But again, he needed 29 pitches to get 6 outs. He did allow a hit, but struck out a batter. And amazingly, in a high leverage spot, because there weren't very many Met relievers left, the Yankees could not break through against Reed Garrett. Again, they had their opportunities. Aaron Judge was left on deck as the Yankees go 1-2-3 in the 9th inning. As for the starters, well, it was Marcus Stroman, and he got through 5, albeit 5 innings, 3 earned, did strike out 4, did allow 7 hits through 81 pitches, and that was just about the max for Stroman. And then it was a parade. Hamilton, Hill, Weaver, and Efros. Obviously, Hamilton, the home run, Weaver, the home run. The Mets hit 3 of them, 1 off Stroman, 1 off Hamilton, and obviously the McNeil home run off of Luke Weaver. Jeff Weaver, wow, blast from the past. Off of Luke Weaver, who, since he has made his return, has not been good. We told you this last night. It bears repeating because the numbers have increased since last night because he's given up another home run. In his first 21 games, Weaver faced 79 batters, did not allow a home run, picking up where he left off last year. Last 10 games since he's come back, 42 batters faced, that's including today, 6 home runs. In fact, he's given up a home run in each of his last 3 outings. That's the first time it's ever happened to him in his career. So again, he has just become batting practice. In tight games, he threw only 15 pitches today, recorded just 1 out, and obviously the huge home run. Not good. The Yankees are now, with the Jays and Rays both playing tonight, at the moment, a game and a half behind the Blue Jays for the top spot in the American League East. That's because the Yanks, believe it or not, are all the way down to 48-40. They are now just 8 games above 500, and they're below 500 away. They're 22-23 now. away. So obviously things are not going well for the Yankees. One thing that is going well is Jasson Dominguez. Just his second time leading off this year, his first career leadoff home run. His first home run since May 21st, folks. He hit 2 today and certainly had his chances for 3, if not 4. So Dominguez in the leadoff spot. My guess is you'll see that quite a bit, especially against righties. Not sure about against lefties. And they'll face another righty tomorrow in Frankie Montas for the Mets. So again, I would expect to see Dominguez not only playing every day, but leading off, especially against righties. Aaron Judge hits the home run again, his 32nd. Believe it or not, Cal Raleigh hit 2 more home runs today. So he now leads Judge by 3. He's got 35. Judge has 32. By the way, Judge drove in his 71st run of the year. Obviously, Cody Bellinger hit a home run as well. But up and down that Yankee lineup, some offers. Paul Goldschmidt mired in a slump. His average all the way down to 282. JC Escara did not have a hit. Anthony Volpe, obviously, times are difficult for him. He goes 0 for 3 and was pinch hit for in that 9th inning by Trent Grisham. Amazing, amazing turn of events for Anthony Volpe, who is now hitting .222. The only Yankee to strike out twice was Aaron Judge today. They did, however, strike out 10 times. So again, the offense not there to pick up the bullpen not there to pick up the offense, and so forth. And that's exactly where we stand now, especially considering Justin Hagenman, who got the start for the Mets, his first major league start, looked like it would be difficult. Now, after those first 2 batters and the Yankees had a 2-0 lead, Hagenman actually settled down. He goes 4 1/3, allows 4 runs, 3 homers, but all solo shots. So believe it or not, despite the fact that, one, he shouldn't be up pitching in the major leagues yet anyways, he actually managed himself fairly well. Again, 4 runs and 4 1/3 is not great, but they were 3 solo home runs and at the very least kept the Mets in it. We were all wondering how the Mets would get through this game considering the pitching injuries for them and obviously the usage from the bullpen over the last couple of days. But they managed to get through it. Warren, Brazoban, and Garrett were the final 3 pitchers. And again, Reed Garrett, who has been struggling of late, gets the final 6 outs without allowing a run. He threw 29 pitches. As for Marcus Stroman, we told you he threw 81 pitches. His season ERA, 7.45. He does not figure in the decision. Neither of the starters do. All right, as we said, 6-5 the final score, as the Yankees have now dropped 5 in a row. Obviously, the 4 in Toronto, which was a massacre, a disaster north of the border, and more of the same today. As we said, 6-5 the final score. By the way, Cody Bellinger, his home run, his 3rd of the year against the Mets. So somebody wake him up. He's been good, specifically against the Mets. Again, 3 home runs this year against the Mets. Believe it or not, didn't realize this. As far as Marcus Stroman goes, it was his first start in the major leagues at Citi Field as a visiting pitcher. He had never pitched as a visiting pitcher at Citi Field. Amazing, considering, 1, he was a Met for a while, and 2, there's been interleague play. And obviously he's an American League pitcher now, but you would have thought with his time in Toronto and obviously with the Yankees that at some point he would have faced the Mets at Citi Field as a road opponent, but obviously that's not the case. Yanks are now 6-15 in their last 21 games. And again, they've lost 5 in a row. All right, we'll try and find a player of the game. I think you know who it is. We'll tell you who that is next. Obviously, get into the probables. Murky area at best when it comes to a Met starting pitcher on Sunday. They'll go with Frankie Montas tomorrow. No word yet on Sunday. So very interesting now for the Yankees to try and get back into this series. We'll talk about it coming up next. All right, we've all been there, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Well, Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Worried about what happens if plans change? Well, the Game Time guarantee has your back with cancellation protection and more. Take the guesswork out of buying concert and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. All right, we're back, and without further ado,
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
all right, as you guessed, it's Jasson Dominguez, who has been scorching hot of late, white hot of late. Dominguez had 2 more hits today, both home runs, drove in 3, also walked as well, his average up to 271, on base up to 350. And considering where he was, that's pretty good. He's also slugging 433, so the OPS is getting up there as well. But again, Dominguez had 2 home runs. He was leading off tonight for just the second time this season, his first career leadoff home run. If you recall, he had a 3-homer game earlier this year, had 2 tonight. That's 5 home runs total in 2 games. Folks, he's only hit 8 home runs this season. Just 8. 5 of them coming in 2 games. So amazing stuff from Jasson Dominguez. All right, 2 more with the Mets. Tomorrow, it'll be a very interesting pitching match of Carlos Rodon, Frankie Montas. Montas was banged around in his last start for the Mets. Obviously, Carlos Rodon trying to even things up in this series. As for Sunday, Max Fried will definitely go for the Yankees, to be determined for the Mets on Sunday. And that obviously, hopefully, will be in a rubber game of 3. One site lists Brandon Waddell as the starter for the Mets, but again, that could easily be an opener, could very easily be a bullpen game for New York. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so after Saturday and Sunday, and by the way, tomorrow's 4 o'clock, Sunday is 1:40. 3 with Seattle, and Cal Raleigh, as we mentioned, now has 35 home runs. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yanks are off Monday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all-night games against Seattle. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Cubbies come in, one of the best offensive teams in the sport. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1:35. Then it's on to the All-Star break. Amazingly, unofficially, the first half is just about complete. Really crazy stuff. All right, let's get to some comments now. Pix Graphic wants to know, no cry fanatic of Yanks suck now is normal lose, and lose is okay. All right, so Pix Graphics, obviously, I don't know. Not pleased? Certainly not pleased. But again, Yanks are still 8 games above 500 at 48-40. Now, there'll be multiple games behind the first place Blue Jays. Are technically now a game and a half, but the Blue Jays still play today, and the Rays are actually playing right now. All right, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goodsoulias and Brian McKeon. Follow, subscribe, and enjoy. They're the best. Again, all the stuff over at Locked On Yankees is there. One more comment. Donnie Clark wants to know why the team is playing like garbage. Great question, Donnie. We do not know the answer to it, but hopefully the Yankees will dig themselves out of it at some point soon. Again, we figured the home runs would lead the Yankees today, specifically because of the Mets' pitching woes, and the Yankees hit 4 home runs today. Just wasn't enough. Bellinger, Judge, and Dominguez twice. Now, 3 of those home runs were solo shots. So I guess kudos to the Mets pitchers for at least not walking anybody. But again, 2 hits for Dominguez, 2 hits for Judge, 2 hits for Jazz Chisholm. Jazz, by the way, now hitting 244 on the season. All right, we'll try and break the streak tomorrow. Yanks go for their first win in almost a week. They've lost 5 in a row, and they are not playing well. Obviously, the bullpen could not bail out the hitters today and vice versa. We'll see what's in store tomorrow. Again, Carlos Rodon and Frankie Montas are your starters. First pitch will be, of course, at 4:10. 4:10 tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow's Saturday. Feels like Saturday today, but tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday is a 1:40 first pitch. All right, we'll be with you immediately following both games. Happy July 4th, everybody. Enjoy your night.